Hi everyone, Linda here again with you from Gun Nut Lane Jewellery. This week I've got another link, connector link, whatever you want to call it, for you. This is our little link here. So if you want to learn how to make that and put it together, I'll show you some lovely pieces at the end that I've made. Just stay with me, I'll get all my supplies together and we'll get going. Okay, so let's get started. I've got some 20 gauge wire here. I've left it on the spool. Yeah, I just found that the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to flush cut the end of that wire there. I'm going to grab my 6-step pliers here, and I'm using this mandrel here, which I think is 3mm. I think, I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're going to grab our wire, and I'm going to leave a tail. It's not a very long tail there, but I'll just give you a quick measurement on that. It's only a rough measurement. Say about 2.5 centimeters, which is just over an inch. So we're going to grab that there, and all we're going to do is coil this. It's quite easy to do. Okay, and I'm going to do 7.5 of these coils. So that's one. And you have to, you know, get around this little tail here. What have we got? 2. Okay, this is 7. And then we're just going to bring that wire around like this. This is a really quick and simple little video for you today. I've just had so much going on in my life at the moment. I haven't had time to scratch myself, let alone think about doing videos, and not very pleasant things happening at the moment. So yeah, so now we're just going to cut the wire roughly the same length as what that is there. Put that aside for the moment. Okay, now I'm going to grab my wire straighteners. So I've got both of our tails like basically sticking up. We're just going to come in, and I'm starting sort of at the end of this wire here. Now just do this gently, don't go in gung-ho and just squash. Just do it gently, little bit by little bit. It'll be slippery, so hold on to your link. See, it's slipping now. Oops, slip right out of my hands. Make sure I've got that up the right way. As I said, it'll be slippery, so just hold on to it. Okay. Now the object of this is to try and get your little squishy parts that we're doing here, the little rings. Move that one out of the way if it's in the way. Is as evenly spaced apart as possible. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but just, you know, you don't want big gaps. You want it to be fairly evenly spaced. Come up the other end and give that a bit of a squish like that. Take a look at it and make sure that it's sort of pretty much even. This one down here is a little bit out, but you know, don't worry about it too much. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing I do is perfect, so don't try and be perfect. Okay, we've got it looking like that. I'm just going to get this one out of the way. I'm going to grab my bench block and rubber hammer, and this is just to set the spirals and just strengthen them a little bit. So we're just going to give those a bit of a pound. If you've got a tumbler, you don't have to worry about this too much, but still give them, like, set them in place so they don't come apart while you're working with them. But the tumbler will strengthen them up like lovely for you when you're done. If you don't have a tumbler, give it a little bit more of a pound than what I just gave it then. All right, so we've got that going. I'm going to grab my my round nose pliers. I need those, and I want my flat nose pliers. So I'm going to come in. I'll turn that over, as you can see, and I've got this long tail coming out here like that. I'm just going to grab hold of that end one here and hold this quite firmly in your left hand, and we need to push this wire over. This is why you need to hold on firmly on this side here. So we're just going to push this wire over, and you want to bring it in as close as you can to the top of the last ring there. So you've got to have it nice and firmly like that. Get that one out of the way again. Then we're just going to measure it. Now, to turn a nice simple loop, you need at least 1 centimetre of wire. So you can put it over your finger like this, or you can measure it. The measurement of your finger here roughly is about 1 centimetre. So see, that's roughly 1 centimetre. So that's pretty good going. My next door neighbour is just about to start mowing his grass. So sorry if it gets noisy. If it gets too noisy, I'll stop and come back when he's moved away. Okay, so I've got markings on my pliers here, which hopefully you can see. I'm going to turn my loop here. Oop, hold on to it, Linda. And turn it over all the way like that. So that's a nice looking loop there. Okay, then we come up to the other end here, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab my flat nose pliers, holding onto that last loop there, and just with your thumb, just push that wire over. It doesn't matter if it's going this way, it's okay. We can always pull it back, pull it over till it's touching the top of that wire there. Okay, now I need to hold on to it again so I can pull it back up. So I'm holding it, I've turned it over now, and I'm holding on to it at the top here, and I'm just going to pull this wire up here a little bit like that. And if it's got a hump in it, sometimes when I've taken these off, you can see a little bit of a hump there, but sometimes it's got a bigger hump. So you just need to go in and get that hump out using your pliers like that. If this piece of wire is too long, or cut a bit off, but make sure you leave enough that you can turn a loop. All right, that looks pretty good to me there. So I'm going to come in and measure my 1 centimetre again. And turn my loop over. I come up with this link design, or connector link, whatever you want to call it. I was working on a, where did I put it? On a, oh, here it is. Let's see if I can just grab it for you and show you quickly. I was working on, I'm teaching myself to do wire weaving, and this is going to be something that looks like this when it's finished. So this shape thing, so you know, for a necklace. So I was making the loops to go on the bottom of this one that I'm doing here, and I thought, and this is what I do quite often, this is my thinking process. Whenever I'm doing a piece, I always think, can I turn that into a link for a necklace, a connector link or chain link or whatever? And so I started playing with wire, and that's how I come up with this link here. So just what I'm trying to say is, just when you're doing things for your jewelry, try and think outside the box. Like, can I use a part of this to make something else? Is what I'm trying to get. I hope I came across saying that that you understood that. I don't know how to put into words what goes through my brain as far as my designs and stuff like that come up. It's just something that seems to naturally occur in my brain, and trying to put words to explain to somebody is extremely hard. So I just trimmed that one up a little bit. I wasn't happy with the way that one was looking. Okay, now when it comes, now we've basically finished our link. Now you can leave it like that if you want, and then you could just add, you know, you've got your links laying out. You could just add jump rings if you wanted to, like 1 or 2 or whatever, to make your own own design. So you can leave it flat like that. Just hammer the ends, or use your, if you don't have a hammer, use your wire straighteners to just chomp down on those a couple of times to work harden them. But when it comes to this now, you have to decide, do you want your, if you can see here, hopefully you can see here, the way these loops go. So these ones, I'm calling those facing down because the bottom part is down, the little arch part is facing down. So you decide, do you want it that way or that way? And it only makes a difference because if you're going to put it all together in a chain link, you want them to look the same, unless you don't want them to look the same. You know, if you want one up and one down. So you make up your own mind. But I'm just saying this because you need to know which end of these, because we're going to turn one. So which end of these you need to turn. Now the chain that I am making, mine go face down. So my arch things face downwards. So I want this bottom one here to be turned the opposite way. Gosh, finding it hard to explain this. So I'm going to turn this loop now to face that way. So when I connect them all together, excuse me, they're facing the right way, like that. I just hope I'm making sense. Okay, now if you don't want to get your hammer and that out again, just give those a little work over with the wire straighteners. Okay, and that's pretty much our little link or connector link, whatever you want to call it. When I come back, I will show you how I've put that together in a chain for a necklace, and also an earring design that I've come up with, so I won't be long. Okay, I'm back with you. So here's our chain here. All our little links put into a chain. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I can only imagine what this is going to look like once it's oxidized and cleaned up and polished. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I just wanted to mention, like, you know, I've put it together for a shorter necklace, all the links put in together. But you could put a bead in between each of these, or some other sort of link, like a rose link, like a wire rose link. That would look absolutely stunning in between each one of these. There's just, you know, you just have to use your imagination and just think outside the box and just have a little play around. That's the fun part, is the play part. Now I've attached it to this pendant here, this pearl pendant that I made ages ago, and I never got around to making a chain for it because I didn't know what kind of chain I wanted to put with it. And when I pulled it out, because it was the only pendant I had that didn't have a chain on it, I didn't particularly think that that was going to go with this, but once I actually attached it, I thought it looked lovely. Yeah, so that's that. Then there's also an earring that I said I'd made. So this is the earring design here. It's not a pearl, obviously. I've just used different beads here. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what you could do with this component up here. I think that looks absolutely stunning. And that would make a beautiful bracelet. Oop, if I can get that to stay on there. Come here. You're not going to escape that easily. Yeah, so you could make that into a bracelet link, and then just do some of the smaller links over here on, you know, going around the wrist. You could make this part here if you wanted to make it bigger, just using a thicker wire and another size on your mandrel. But yeah, so that's just another idea for you. I'll get around to making the other one of this later. This is quite a long earring, so you don't have to make it that long, obviously. You'd make it however way you want to make it. Okay, so I promised last week I would show you the necklace chain that I finished from the previous week's tutorial, the spiral link. I'll leave a link down the bottom for that if you're interested. If you didn't see that and you're interested in learning it. This is the spiral link here, in case you didn't see it before. I just want to show you how beautiful this looks together as well. Like, this is a really long chain, this one here. Gotta get all these little links turned over the right way. This is really, really, really long chain. But as you can see, how beautiful would that look together, like in a layered look. Because these are spiral, these have kind of got that spiral look to it. So it, you know, if you like the matchy thing, you've got that going on there as well. You know, obviously you could wear it with something else, whatever, you know, you want to do, but I just wanted to show you. So that's part of the chain there. I'll just move it along a little bit so you can see just, you know, some links put together there. Little string of pearls there, freshwater pearls. Then another little focal there, and then just these links up around the back of the neck, coming down this side here. So just to give you an idea. And as well as those, I also made a pair of earrings to go with them. I'm not into sets, but get over there. I know a lot of you like to make earrings and turn the links, the connector links or links, whatever you want to call them, into earrings. So that's a little pair of earrings that I made there. Hopefully you can see those clear enough. And then I had some leftover links and pearl links that I'd put together as well. So I just threw a little double strand, chain strand bracelet together as well. So just, yeah, so just some more ideas for you. I think that's all I've got to show you. Yeah, that. Yep, that's it. Okay, so I will leave a link down the bottom for the Facebook group in case you're interested in joining that. It's a totally free group, and it's a private group, so it's a safe group, so there's no spamming and scamming. You know, you're not going to get people trying to sell you from Indonesia beads and you know, whatever. It's just there for you to post your pics of your jewelry that you've made, ask questions if you need to. I post my jewelry on there as well, especially pieces that I don't make here on YouTube, but I share what I've made, my private stuff on my Facebook group. Yeah, so I'll leave a link down the bottom for that, and I think that's all I had to say. And you guys have a great week, and go out there and make something beautiful, and I will catch you all next week. Bye guys.